I'm Piero. I want to talk about my perspective on organizations, human organizations, and politics, which of course relate to that. I look to the systematics of the situation to determine what is the truth about that situation. And so what I mean is, for example, when most people put their confidence in people, they don't think the system is important. They just want a good person in positions of control, and they're not really too concerned about how that control is structured between the parts of the organization. They recognize a powerful position. They just want to recognize a powerful position and get a really good guy in that powerful position. But I look at the role that position plays in the system, and I assume basically that what that system is capable of achieving or doing and how it will behave in the long run is dependent on the shape of that system. Now, when I say shape of the system, I'm invoking, in my mind at least, graph theory. So I think of the systems as graphs, and I mean technically a graph such as a directed graph, such that there are vertices and connections between the vertices. In human organizations, you can always graph the organization this way because the vertices, the points, are individuals, and then the connections are the relationships between the individuals. And that's a pretty complete, between those two types of things, you can completely describe the network and get at a lot of what that organization's about. So I look towards the shape of that organization. I just know that organizations shaped certain ways become a certain way in the long run. Now, when they start off and the organization is loose, you don't see that. You see more personality-driven situation. But that's just the initial conditions. Each network has a steady state of how it's going to operate in the long run, given human beings as its parts. Similarly, when I judge a person's, not judge, but when I classify a person's philosophical stance or political stance, for political philosophy, when I judge a person's political philosophy, when I classify it, when I figure out what philosophy they have, I don't look for the list of items. I keep a sub-classification based on what their positions are, but more than that, I look to how they generate their ideas. Where do they get their positions from? If you get your position from what everybody around you told you, then you're a conservative. And if you get your position from an idea of wanting to improve things using a reality-based framework of ideas, reason, then you're progressive. And fact is, there's people out there call themselves conservatives, believe in a few things they think are conservative, that would satisfy my criteria for progressive. That's another thing, progress is personal. They may still be conservative, but they're crawling towards a more progressive direction, which in that case will take them through the liberal dogma. See, the liberal dogma is just a dogma as well. It's just sort of stuck there at a particular time. I mean, all it has going for it is that it's better than the conservative dogma. Well, that's quite a lot, we're told all the time by that's my Marcos impression. That's quite a lot. And you know, it's not quite a lot. It's just a very little. But it's better than nothing. See, they just wanna, these people arguing for why the lesser of two evils is really a great thing. That's all they care about. They don't want you to think they're a great thing. They just want you to think they're good enough to get in power, because there's lots of goodies. There's lots of goodies, and I don't just mean money. There is status. You take these roles in our network, in the system of our culture, which are very attractive to a certain sort of person. And unfortunately, it's not the best sort of person. The best sort of person is not attracted to politics, to political office. Some really good people are attracted, and they get burned up and find out that they're stopped by the majority type that is attracted. Most of the people attracted to political office either like the power, just the overt power of officially being in a position of power and exercising it, or they want the money and the lifestyle. It's sort of a party and lifestyle. I mean, they just schmooze all the time, talk about whatever they want. And you know, it attracts the worst sort of human, and that's because of the design of the network around it. Now, by looking at things systematically, for example, look, why do we have this monarch-styled presidential idea? Why? Frankly, I'd rather have a it's because, here's why. It's because we are trusting in people. Somebody has to be able to make a decision. Well, yeah, that's right. A decision has to come from somewhere. Why does it have to be an individual? It's because we are not confident that the system is in place for the right person to get that decision. That's the real problem. In an organization, you want the right person to get the right question and be the one to make a decision. You want the right person for each question. Each question potentially has a different right person. Why do we have these executives? Well, it's the idea that instead of design the system, you see, that's complicated. Nobody's ever necessarily even done that. We're not certain if anybody's ever made a system of human organization where the right question always gets to the right person. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's never been done, but I mean, even approximately, I'm not sure. Okay, well, I gotta slow down. I'm just talking too much bullshit there. I mean, I think there are definitely approximations. There's a debate as to how good the approximations are.